93 Network.
Welcome back. It's that time again for the forecast. We do have four of us, but we are missing one member. He is off being island dog once again.
Oh, yes.
Toes in the sand somewhere.
Yeah,
with
10 toes down.
On his arm.
Yeah. Okay. All right, we got King Chef Jeff in here tonight.
right.
Go, man.
We got special guests, second time.
Let's go.
Chef Jeff in the building. Thank you.
No, Ben, what did I just say? I said King Chef Jeff. Stop, Ben.
You got to change his name. Huh?
Got to change his name. Go, man.
But this is the forecast. We review movies, films, documentaries, a completely different way, four different perspectives coming at you tonight with the added member. Tonight doing Buck and the Preacher. It's a throwback film. It's available on YouTube. It's also available on Amazon and some other places. So we'll kind of go around the room first to our guest, Chef. How you doing tonight?
What's up, man? Thank y'all for having me review this movie, man. This was a throwback for real. This was before my time. This is
before all our times, yeah.
All our times.
I was like 1970. What now? Okay, yeah, no, I don't know nothing about that.
Yeah,
they got you, young Buck. You don't know nothing about this, and I don't.
Yeah,
right.
On your blood.
Exactly.
You don't know about the young blood.
Yeah, for real.
On your blood.
I appreciate y'all having me, man. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no problem. Always great having you. Go ahead, Wilkes. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Man, I love some good Westerns. I mean, my mom, Western nut. So, I mean, she's probably seen this movie. I actually forgot to ask her. Heck, I should have probably watched it with her while she was here, taking her cinema rolls that I was baking yesterday. But I'm glad A-Trap kind of kept this in rotation because he's mentioned it a few times. But
yeah.
It's just I enjoyed it. I really liked it. So I'm doing well tonight. I'm ready to jump in. And, yeah, let's do it.
What you got in the glass?
This is actually a gin sour. It's the reverse of a whiskey sour. So we got a gin sour tonight.
All right.
Fancy glass.
See you there. What you got in there, Jeff?
Pepsi.
Just a little Jack and Coke. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Old school, baby. Jack and Coke.
Yeah,
you know.
Straight to the point.
Right.
Definitely. A-Trap, good to see you, man. I had a birthday last week, and I didn't even say it on the air. My bad.
Yeah, man. Turned 22 last week.
To you, man.
I was turning 24 last week, man. Yeah, man. I want all my years.
You say you want all of it. Oh, it's all right. You got all you. Hey, you could be an old soul and brand new body, man.
That's what I need. A brand new body.
Yeah.
Or at least the back and some knees.
Them the first to go.
Yeah, always.
No matter what age you are, them the first to go. The knees and the back.
And at the worst time too.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Like I didn't know it was this soon. Yeah. By the time, man.
Yeah.
Never lost, man. Never lost.
Yeah, just sign right here on the dotted line.
Yeah, we'll take that.
Right. We're gonna take that. No Diddy.
Yeah.
Let's get to the chat real quick. Golden Brooks, man, good to see you. Thank you for tuning in. She said, hey. Also, we got the doc, Latoya, the therapist, in the building. Thank you for tuning in.
Chef
Jeff is here. Yes, sir. Raider Kev in the building. Thank you for tuning in. Toya says, gin sour sounds so good. Hey, Wilkes always coming with it, man. Not just on Mondays. You're not following him.
No.
Always whipping something up. Always.
I had to whip up some cinnamon rolls yesterday. My mom kept asking me, so I was like, sure, Mom.
And he probably had some sugar on top from Brazil or something.
I actually had some sugar from Asia that was in there.
What I tell you?
That was.
What I tell you, man? Always, man.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Blue Streak, Theodore, thank you for tuning in. All right, man. Let's get into some initial thoughts. I know we kind of already gave some. So for I think it's 3 of us are first timers because you've seen this before, right?
Yeah. Numerous times.
Really?
So let's kind of go to the first timers first. My initial thoughts, I could tell how old it was when the opening was like 2 minutes long. You could just tell the music, and then they did all the credits. Like in the beginning, put all the credits at the end. They did every single credit down to the intern.
Right.
At the beginning of this film. But I was looking forward to it. Sidney Poitier is a master when it comes to film directing, and I hadn't seen. I don't think Harry Belafonte in something where he was this young. So, and I was looking forward to it. I knew it was going to be a quality film. Sidney Poitier, if he's doing anything, it's going to be quality. It's not going to be. Yeah. Right. It's not going to be trash. So I knew it was going to be good. Just a matter of, what is going to come down to. So, Chef, any other initial thoughts?
I was kind of blown away. I'm not a Western person, so I was kind of like, "What's going on?" And Doc was like, "It's a Western. It ain't gonna say much. You just got to pay attention." My father-in-law watches Cheyenne all the time, so I'm kind of familiar with it, but. I'm like, what's going on? I was really looking really trying to find what's going on. Like I was really in depth, but it was just a good watch though. Like you said, Harry Belafonte being that young, and what's the lady name? Ruby Rose.
Yep. Ruby D.
Ruby. Yeah, I got to learn who she was. So I got a little history lesson as I watched it because Doc she's like, yeah, that's so and so. And so it ended up being a good watch and a good, quality time moment with Doc. So I enjoyed it.
Definitely. Whoops.
First time for me. Westerns in my blood. Thanks, Mom. Shout out to my mom. I mean, honestly, as I was watching this when they got to the Native American part, man, I made a mistake there because representation of the original Native American when Sidney Poitier decided to say, hey, we're going to go to the source and have these actors represented in this movie. Because now it's the thing for Disney to say, oh, if we're going to do a Hispanic cartoon, we got to have Hispanic actors. Nah, they've already been doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Right. They already been doing this. So that kind of brought some things to my forefront. But I enjoyed it. I loved it. I mean, it was done very well. I like the seriousness side of Sidney Poitier because the last time we saw him, he was in a comedy with Bill Cosby.
Right.
So,
Uptown Saturday Night, I think.
Yeah. So I enjoyed it. I love some good Westerns, some classic Westerns. Hey, I'm glad I had to do this for the show because if that was just something I would have put on, I probably would have fell asleep. You gotta fall asleep to the good Westerns. You gotta wake up and be like, man, who got shot?
Right. At the end, they won. Yeah.
Hey, that's just how it was, man. They won, man. So I enjoyed it.
Right.
I thought it was good. I thought it was done well. I'm glad H-Rap mentioned this one because I haven't watched it. I knew he had mentioned it, and I started it a few months ago, but I didn't get back to it. So I enjoyed it.
Yeah, definitely. H-Rap.
I mean, it was a great movie. I mean, this is something that me and my family used to watch. Me and my cousins, my sisters, we used to watch it all the time. It was a big deal on Friday nights for you and your family to get together, cousins to get together and watch movies on the late show. It's the late show. Yeah. And this is one of the movies that they would play on a regular basis. So it was nothing shocking to me. I mean, it was Sidney Poitier, and the backstory is I think Marlon Brando helped produce this. They had an 8-movie deal, and they gave Sidney and Marlon to do this one they did before this kind of flopped, and this was the one they had a hard time producing, and then it became a cult classic. So I mean, and I'm lucky enough to be old enough to come right at the end of the Western era. The Big Valley, the the Big Valley Bonanza and all that stuff. That stuff was still on TV when these things were made. And I was 2. So obviously, I wasn't paying attention then. But as I aged, I had the privilege and the pleasure of watching these movies when it was not, oh man, HD and surround sound. It was just like, pay attention, suck in what's going on, pay attention to the dialogue. And then, so I think personally, and it's not a shot at younger people, but I don't think, like I told my son this before, I don't think you guys younger people get a chance to truly enjoy movies anymore because so many bells and whistles. There's so many things going on around the story. We're paying attention to CGI. We're paying attention to the definition of colors, but we're not actually watching the movie. And movies like this forces you, like my man said, his wife is like, no, you need to pay attention right here. And it's just walking you through the cinematic beauty of an actual film. So as usual, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's the one thing about Westerns I've noticed. Like, just growing up, like I said, watching Wild Wild West and Bonanza and The Rifleman and Gunsmoke, it wasn't always going to be action. But the dialogue and just the way they acted. I mean, even watching Posse, like I said last week, I noticed that he had to put his guns in the box because we also watched another movie where she had to hand over her guns and put them in that box on the stagecoach. So those little nuances there that they have, it's great. I love a good Western. I mean, even if it's a modern Western, they've done it, today, but they're trying to recapture the Wild Wild West. But the dialogue is what gets you. The action, that's going to speak for itself later if it's one of those Westerns. But the big shootout and the gang riding in. I mean, even watching the massive, the size of the bad guys riding in. How many times have I seen that in certain movies where it's just like, that's just a thing. And so I love that. I thought it was pretty good. And it was just one of those things where the spaghetti Westerns were big when I was coming up, so I enjoyed that.
Golden says, I love this movie. Yeah. Shout out to you. Yeah. And this is one of those, I was wondering, was it on TV? And A-Trap seemed like you answered that question. It was on TV at different times, so you could just catch it when it came on.
Yeah.
So, and I definitely could understand that. So just to give the plot real quick, 1972 film Buck and the Preacher is based on a true story of the Great Exodus when formerly enslaved people traveled west and faced attacks from white people. The film's plot includes themes such as complicated relationship between Black freedmen and Native Americans, the violence used to maintain economic relationships, and the ways deposit can overwhelm well-being people. And I think a lot of the things we've watched is falling in line with this, because we did, one of our opening things was Exterminate All the Brutes, which talked about how the Native Americans were already here, and then somebody comes here and says, this was mine and I found it, even though it was people already there. But there was a disagreement between the Black people and the Native Americans, because like, you fought against us, and so that, and it showed the dynamics, which I think was great in this one. So Sidney Poitier as Buck, and then the Preacher was played as Harry Belafonte. Now the music, which we said this early, sounded like Sanford and Son. Did y'all get that same? Or is this the same guy that made Sanford and Son? Did anybody look that up?
I didn't catch. I mean, I caught that, but I didn't think about like Sanford and Sons. But it definitely had that, like, I mean, there were notes of like kind of like R&B kind of note. I mean, there was like, man, this is kind of upbeat, like rhythm and blues. Like, what's going on right now?
Yeah, it was a great mix of music, and that's what held me, like, kept my attention, because I was like, what's going on with this music? Like, what we doing?
Isaac Hayes back there?
Because I'm the type of person, if don't nothing blow up in the first like 10 minutes of the movie, I'm done. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. And so I found myself like, okay, now I'm listening for certain instruments, and I'm trying to see where they're going with it, but it just never took a constant tone, it was always different. It would switch up,
Right.
So I was like, okay, what they doing? Like, okay, what's happening?
Absolutely. Yeah, because I was even in the intro, I was like, man, this is a little funky for the intro. Man.
Exactly. And so I looked, I turned to look at the screen, like, did they digitally remaster this? Like, what am I watching for real?
Right.
And so I stopped it. I was like, 1972. Okay, this is before my time. All right.
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
We're gonna get into it.
Yeah, and my wife was like, man, this is for it to be in color, it can't be that old. Yeah, and I was thinking that same thing too. Like it was it in black and white when it was original?
No, I think it's always been in color.
Okay.
I think it's always
been in color.
Yeah.
I mean, the music is for Benny Carter, I think, and Sanford & Son is from Quincy Jones.
Okay.
I think don't quote me on Benny Carter. Don't
for Benny Carter because they probably rolled together or something.
Yeah, Benny Carter. Benny Carter was a big time musician from Harlem.
Yeah. They probably rolled together.
It was doing something together. Yeah.
But don't quote me on that Benny Carter though. But I think he but the music back then, anytime we did music, we put our spin on it. So I mean, in movies we put our spin on it. If you want to get some other funky stuff, of course it would be this. But Bing Along and Traveling All Stars, produced by Barry Gordy, a lot of funky music in that too.
Yeah, and you're right about that. It was composed by jazz great Benny Carter. So shout out to you on that fact. Always come on with the facts. CJ, appreciate you for tuning in. Golden says the music was similar. It was. So what was that?
I said we ain't the only ones that thought that.
That's why I say,
exactly. That's immediately when I saw it.
Golden Brooks, because I appreciate you.
Yeah. They was getting down with it though. But I agree, A-Trap. We always gonna put our spin on everything. Like it's not gonna be boring. It's not gonna be the same thing each time. So we always
it ain't gonna be that orchestra stuff in a John Wayne movie. I can tell you that.
Right. I love the horses in this. Obviously, I know it's a Western, but to see us riding a horse and like having command of the horse, and I don't think I was trying to tell if this was them riding it the entire time.
I think sometimes there was something in. There were angles where you could tell it wasn't Sidney Poitier, but I know what you mean, Ben. I was actually gonna make that comment earlier. I felt like, man, of course, black people being called cowboys, but then eventually, making their way, riding horse. I mean, it was almost like second nature. It was like, okay, well, you want me to do this? I'm gonna make it my own. Like he just said, I'm gonna put my spin on it.
Right. Who's that Negro
Do you mind?
But the horses were beautiful in this. Like I obviously you got to make sure of that. You can't have a scraggly looking horse in a film like this. But when Buck and the Preacher first meet, it reminded me of a Smokey and Ice Cube or something type moment where he basically bathing in the lake and he coming up taking his horse. But Chef, give me your thoughts on that segment or moment in the film when they kind of meet each other.
I thought it was cold blooded. He rode up and took his horse and just left. Like
you're not gonna do nothing.
I was like, but what? Why did you just? But then I was like, okay, he running from the posse. So I'm like, okay, what's this gonna throw him off? But are we gonna get this guy killed? Are we that cutthroat or like what's the diversion here? Like how bad is that gonna be on Harry Belafonte's character? So I was like, well, okay, that's kind of like, okay, let me key in deeper because what's the turnaround here? Like, what we doing? I just thought it was cold blooded that he took Buddy Horse just out of nowhere. Like, yeah, give me that.
Right out of nowhere. Why you naked? Why you did he talk?
He was on a nut. Come on, man. And then he ate his chicken too, or didn't he take his lunch?
He had a rabbit.
Oh, he ate his rabbit. Yeah, he ate his rabbit. Like,
then he just bit one piece and like threw it to the ground. It was like,
threw it down. Like,
I was going to eat the rest of that, man.
Took the man all the horse.
All the pee-pee.
Took all the man stuff.
That had the comical, that had the serious, that had the suspense, because obviously, like you said, Jeff, he was trying to get away. So it included all of those different elements, but I think that was a perfect way for them to meet. So then, it's called Buck and the Preacher. So eventually they're about to meet up again. They're probably going to be riding alongside each other. So,
right.
But give me your thoughts on that scene.
You said me?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. It was a great beginning. You knew it was a bridge, and it was just it's almost like a buddy comedy. You know it was coming. Right.
Wilkes, anything you want to add on that?
Yeah, I thought that scene. I mean, it was just kind of cold, like you said, cold blooded. It was just like, man, you're gonna ride up. You're already making sure I ain't making those sudden moves to get out. You wait until I get comfortable.
Right.
Switch my saddle over. Then you finna ride out. Hey man, I need your horse, man. I need this Playboy. I'm good. Yeah. I got it. Yeah. Yeah.
It was like that moment, like, hey man, what size shoe you wear? Like, okay, come off though.
Take that chain off too, man. Yeah. Let me get that chain. Like,
I'm gonna tuck mine in this time.
Very Debo-ish.
Very Debo-ish with the horse. So man, it was pretty crazy. But like you said, it was building up. It was crescendoing into something crazy. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I honestly, as watching this, I felt like it was like a black version of Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid kind of thing. It was just like, but this is real deal. This is what we've actually ran into. It's got history behind it.
Right.
So I enjoyed it. I thought it was crazy the way they introduced the preacher and Buck to each other. So it was pretty crazy.
And then the moment that he tried to jump, he tried to make a hop and a skip, and he was like, "Hey, where you going?"
Yeah, where you going?
Nah, man, I'm just trying to get my Bible. Yeah. Now at that point, we thought he was just trying to get his Bible, but obviously we know now that he had a gun in there. He could have.
Yeah, we know now what's
tried to get that real quick, but that ain't up working out. But so he takes the horse. Obviously, they end up looking for Buck, and they end up finding Preacher. And then he was like that pastor that we all know. We all know a pastor like that can slick talk his way out of anything, and that can make you give him money, no matter what. Like, hey, well, it's for y'all. It's not just for me. He had all that down. He reminded me of the pastor from Coming to America, Arsenio Hall. That's what it made me think of. I don't know if y'all thought of that.
From I'm gonna be quiet.
Nah, go ahead.
Swallow.
Oh, that one.
I'm leaving it alone.
Hey, he can slick talk his way out of anything, man. But again, we all know a pastor like that. The 80s, 90s, today, they all exist. But he was able to kind of sweet talk his way out of that. I'll help you guys. I'll make sure. Give me your thoughts on that, Jeff, and anything you want to add.
I just thought that was a turning point. Like, he finna go back and get him. Like, he finna set him up. Okay, I see. He took my horse. Now I'm gonna set him up to get caught. I was like, here we go. Like, okay, this is how we do each other. You know what I'm saying? I took your horse. Now you set me up. You jumped on by the man. And I was like, well, okay, that can't be it. Like, this ain't all of the movie, right? Like,
right.
Okay, let me pay attention. I mean, she kept telling me to pay attention because she know ain't nothing blow up, ain't nobody get shot. I was out. I was done with this movie. I was like, well, I just let the credits play. Ain't nothing happening. At this point, he took the horse. Okay, all right. But I mean, she was like, you gotta pay attention, babe. And I'm like, all right, I'm looking. But I was like, dang, he sold him out. Like he just gonna really sell him out that quick.
Yeah, that was fast too. It wasn't maybe it was like, nah, I got you. I'm gonna go and get them, and whatever y'all need. I got you.
Okay. You want to waste no time, man?
Nah, we ain't wasting no time. I'm like, well, I guess the movie got to be at a certain time. We got to end it.
You steal my horse is what you get, man.
Right. It was like it's my butt or his, and it's definitely gonna be his. It ain't gonna be mine.
Man.
Yeah.
Sold him out quick.
Yeah. Wilkes, anything you want to add to that?
No, that's pretty much it. It was just kind of like, man, what are we doing right now? I mean, this is crazy. I mean, I can't say no much more about that. It was just like, what are we doing right now, man?
Yeah, you're right about that.
Yeah,
them pastors be tripping. Yes.
Yes.
Hey, I'm gonna say this real quick. The three of us live in Dallas, and A-Trap lives in Chicago. But I listen to this radio station, The Ticket, and every week they have a community quick hits, and every week. There's something about a pastor that got fired, is stepping down, or something.
Yes.
So it's not just this stuff been going on for years, but obviously.
Ooh. Every week?
Every week. And I'm talking about Plano, Dallas, Waxahachie, wherever. Somebody doing something they ain't supposed to be doing. Either doing something with the funds or doing something with the members. That's what I'm talking about.
The church money.
The church's money. Exactly. Go. Yeah. All right. So Buck riding around with a preacher riding around with that Bible in his hand. The first time I seen that, I'm like, bro, what is in that Bible, man? And he was holding it like, he was holding it so that you could see it said Holy Bible on it. So he was like, I'm about to come into town. Y'all know I'm a pastor.
Right, yeah. Don't kill me.
I'm coming here to preach, and I'm coming here to save y'all. He was like, y'all got some food?
Yeah, it was either don't kill me or make sure you feed me.
Right, exactly. Yeah. What's up, Mike Williams in the building? Thank you for tuning in. That's your nephew. Sound like said, what's up, Unc?
It's my guy.
Yeah. But I felt like it kind of switched sides when they ran into the Native Americans, and Buck kind of knew them, they knew each other, and I can only imagine that this stuff had to go on all the time. You got to, because you're coming in on their territories. So you got to make a deal. You got to.
Oh yeah, they're not going to trust nobody
or something.
Yeah, because
they were not. They were not easily willing to give up anything.
Not anymore.
This was like a dope deal that was going on.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. Hey, bro.
Chief, whatever his name, stood on business. He was just like, nah,
bro.
No
you get one buffalo, man.
Yeah, one buffalo. Get out of my face.
Yeah, get my face, man.
It's like, dang, you know these people. Yo, he ain't care.
Hey, man.
Yeah, and he was like, I'm keeping mines. Because we still, later on, he said, we still got to fight. Like, we need our stuff to fight. Like,
right, because they still coming at us.
Right, exactly.
Chief Smoke 'em Up wasn't going for it. He was like, nah,
he wasn't.
That ain't gonna work, bro.
Chief Smoke 'em Up wasn't having it, man.
He wasn't having it. He was not having it. No. Both times, I was like, oh, this guy drives a hard bargain here. He's not.
Right. Yeah.
You on your own, Pippin. Like, he can figure it out.
The man said, what did he say? He said 5, and they were like, nah, 8 now.
It wasn't no meet me halfway. It was like, nah, bro. I'm over here, you over here. If you come over here, that's it. Ain't no meet me halfway.
God, rightfully so. I was just kind of like, damn, y'all, everybody trying to drive me out of somewhere. I got to hold ground somewhere, man. I got to put my foot down.
Right.
I agree with him, but I mean, it was like, I give you 5. Get my face.
Right.
He said 5, no more. And they walked off, and I was like, drop the mic.
Yeah, he just turned around. Yeah, I'm done with this.
Like, I'm done talking to you. You take your 5 and get out my face. Like, go on.
I gotta go watch Lone Ranger, man. Good luck.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And you know, the translator, I felt like that was nice. Realistic. You're not just gonna come up to some Native Americans and just start talking English, and they'd be like, yeah, okay. You know,
that's what I don't. That's what kills me about every slave movie made. Why are we speaking English right off the boat? Stop it! Try not to be crazy.
We'll say, knock it off.
What?
Cut it out.
Cut it out immediately.
Yeah, immediately.
And that's the same reason why they were gonna have Julia Roberts play Harriet. That's that for that reason. That's why. Because they just
you got Rosetta Stone on the ship. Stop.
Duolingo.
Yeah, laptops.
Cut it out, man. Hey, man, stop, man.
They give him speech less English class.
Right.
Get out here.
Stop it, man. Hey, come on, man.
Yeah, that makes complete sense. Like you gotta have a middleman. You gotta have somebody that can.
And no, that's not a shout out to make another slave movie. We get it. Stop it.
Right.
Oh God,
make some inventors movie. When we gonna make some movies when we inventing things? Like,
hey, Lewis Latimer, can we get that?
Yeah, can we something? Hello.
I mean, we could have a whole series on inventions.
What
you got, A-Trap?
You know, it's only been 52 slave movies that were made.
That's enough.
Too many.
That's enough. I'm slaved
out.
They
got a series with Roots. I was like, come on, dude. What are we doing?
Television series. I'm slaved out.
To be perfectly honest with you, I don't think it's enough. I don't think people are triggered enough by it.
We need,
you know, if you make movies, if you trigger enough people, you know, I hate to get political, but I'm gonna.
They don't trigger. They don't care about us being triggered. We got enough documentation on black people that they won't watch.
Yeah, if you make these movies and black people get triggered, maybe we'll have a less lax ideology in the community, and then you get involved.
They automatically copping out talking about trauma porn. So I'm like, it's like, how many more you gonna make? I don't know.
I think it's I don't think there needs to be any more made. I think it's just a mindset shift. We gotta, if we want change, we gotta be the change. I know that's a cliche quote, but like we gotta want it for ourselves. We shouldn't have to have signs all the time. Sometimes we just gotta do better.
But they've actually convinced a lot of people that slavery was a long time ago. And like when you're my age,
it's
not my age, your grandmother has actually touched an enslaved person.
Exactly.
Yeah. And people think, you know, even when you hear people have conversations on TV, that was a long time ago. I have nothing to do with that. Well, actually, just like me and Mo sent me a clip yesterday. It was this dude, his brother arguing with this dude with a Confederate flag. He said, "Hey man, that ain't got nothing to do with me. We fought for the farms." He was like, "Well, who was working those farms?" And his response was, "Do you know how much a slave costs?" So,
what?
He literally said that to a black man's face. "Do you know how much a slave cost back then? You know how much your granddaddy cost?"
Wow.
And I'm not advocating for
violence. Fighting words.
But yeah, I was about to say he should have took off on him. But the fact that we're laxed enough to this, that's what I'm saying. If just a thought, if you saw the brutality and the horrificness of slavery in one of these movies, maybe, just maybe.
They're not cooking. They're not smoking barbecue in that smokehouse.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you ever get a chance,
what's up, Chris?
You ain't got to watch the whole movie. But it's this movie Mandingo starring Ken Norton Sr., the boxer.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the movie, Mandingo, the plantation owner. Mandingo is a dude who was fighting. He was basically a gladiator. They used to watch him fight. And the dude who owned the plantation slept with Mandingo's wife and had a baby. Something normal. The plantation owner's wife slept with Mandingo.
Gotcha.
Revenge.
Yeah.
And at the end of the movie, they had this kettle, like a witch's kettle.
Mm-hmm.
And the plantation owner made Mandingo walk into it.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
If you saw something like that regularly, see, this is the reason the cats in the 70s was walking around through dashikis and the big froze. It was like, what?
Yeah.
Try me.
That's true.
You might blow out your fro that night. Like, all us be on here next Monday. Bow to the people. Right?
Yeah. You're right. Absolutely.
We took a tour of the Whitney plantation in Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
And man, walking through there, it'll do something to you. Like for real. If you see it like firsthand, like this is what y'all had people living in.
They had all kinds of crazy.
Yeah.
And you like you see
it was pretty much medieval times revisited pretty much. Any kind of gadget and torture and come on, man. Like, what?
I think if there's a Exterminate the Brutes type of, because Exterminate the Brutes was a documentary and a film in one.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. See, I think even here's
that stuff.
Right, and I think that's the thing about these slavery movies. They keep showing you this one house Negro and we got the plantation. No, they're not showing you the torture and the horror side of like what's just because I'm gonna rape you just because.
Mm-hmm. So you saying it needs to be more brutal and not?
Yeah, it needs to. Hey man, it's seen in Roots when Kunta Kinte. At this point, he was no longer LeVar Burton. He was John Amos, and he had made a break for it. Kunta was always trying to strike out.
Right.
And they caught him.
He could have.
And as a child, I never understood this portion.
Yeah.
They caught him, they holding him, and they pulled out a hatchet, and they was finna cut off his penis. And he was like, oh no. Then they cut his foot off. They cut a portion of his foot off.
Yeah.
But as an adult, seeing that, you going,
yeah.
But as a child, it's like, man, I don't get it.
So in other words, A-Trap wants people leaving the theaters starting a riot in the parking lot.
Yeah, that's what I'm
talking. We need a horror. We need to have a horror label.
Banging on popcorn at the movie theater.
Burn. Yeah. Pretty much. But I absolutely. Absolutely. I mean,
I think that they should make slavery movies as gory as like movies like Gladiator. You know how gory, you know how kind of they need to make them like that. I think, and
because you have historical events with 300 or the Gladiator Maximus in the Colosseum, but then when it gets to slavery, it's just like, oh, don't take me, master. Oh, I'll make some cornbread for you, master. Like what?
And it's always bright. It's always like the sun's always out and it's always happy. So I get your point.
I don't ever see no rain. I don't ever see no hail. Ain't no snow on the ground.
But the guy that did 300, I don't know who directed that.
Oh, Zack Snyder?
Yeah, so we need Zack Snyder to do a slave movie. That's what we all saying. So let's all write send an email to Zack Snyder because he made that 4-hour
movie. I love Gladiator. That's the best revenge story ever.
Hey, and side note, coming out with Gladiator 2. And,
can't wait.
Denzel, man, I think it's gonna be greatness.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be better than the first one.
Really, Scott, man.
People said they've seen the previews and they're like, they're done. Everybody's going to see this. If Denzel's in it, I mean, it's a
done deal.
Yeah,
really, Scott know what he got, man. Really, Scott know what's going on,
man. Yeah. All right, let's get back to it. So basically, the storyline, the people were coming from Louisiana to the west is where they were going. And so they were taking this trail. Buck was basically helping them. He was kind of the guy to lead them through the way. And he felt responsible, which I mean, I get it. You're saying you're going to do this. They're paying you, and you basically going to help them get a safe travel. So obviously while this has happened, you got people coming along. No, they need to go back. They need to go back to being on the plantation, need to go back to being slaves, and no, they can't get away. So that's kind of where the story gets going. And obviously they're running into Deshay and some other guys that don't want them back. And then there's the sheriff though, which A-Trap, I think you talk about this sometimes. There needs to be somebody, an ally or somebody that's willing to say this don't look like us. And say, hey, these dudes haven't done anything. Like, leave them alone, move forward. You just move forward and do what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Like, don't worry about them and all that. So when the sheriff ended up getting shanked. So much for that.
Yeah.
He ended up getting sliced. Yeah. He was like, nah, man, you too positive. We can't have that, man.
Get out of here, man.
Yeah. Make an honest movie about the experiments conducted on slaves from the enemy's perspective. That's another one.
Absolutely. Yeah, because they don't talk about that side.
Yeah. Now, the best part of this entire film, they're going to the whorehouse. They're trying to get the money because they collected money, which they were going to use to continue to move along. And he just slapped that white lady up, man. That was like,
I think
that was the problem to the people moment.
Well, you gonna see for so long. I said, did she die with her eyes open?
They call me Mr. Tidd. Chill out, man. Chill out, Sydney. Chill out, man. Chill out. That's the wrong movie.
$1,500. They were looking for that money. They need that money back.
Yeah, that was big money.
Yeah,
back then you didn't have any food. They all transporting and everything. But so when you see that, Wilkes, what's going through your head?
With the slap scene?
Yes.
Oh, I was like, Sydney into slapping white women, man. I was like, he got an addiction to slapping white women, man. That's the second white woman he don't slap. I don't see them in the movie. He slapped a white woman in the heat of the night. Well, that was the white dude. He was in there slapping white people, man. I was like, oh man, he getting off the train like Bernie Mac.
He slapped a woman in that other movie too.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, he getting off the train like Bernie Mac, like head of the state. Slapping people. Like,
hey, that's one of the funniest memes ever, man. You were just walking down that slapping everybody.
Man. Sydney says, "Hey, man, this for my ancestors, man. I don't care what you say, man.
Yeah,
where
he
that
reached
money?
back on that one. He reached back.
Yeah. And he was at that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he was at that level where he could do that.
Oh, absolutely. They're not questioning.
Because and A-Trap, you can maybe talk about this too.
He
was kind of seen as a what do you call that? An actor that was mainly in kind of white type movies, right? At one point, and then he's kind of.
He was just the dude, man. He was just a slick dude, like they say, women loved him. Women wanted him. Men wanted to be him.
Right.
Yeah.
He's just super duper cool, man. He's the coolest cat in Hollywood at one point. Him and his counterpart. Bill Cosby was the funniest dude in Hollywood, and all the dudes thought he was the coolest cat. And Sidney was the same cat. I've heard stories of Bill Cosby walking in the room, and all the dudes be like, "Nah, ain't no Bill." And Sidney was the other dude that. And then came old William December. Billy D. Y'all know him as Billy D.
You said that's his name?
William December?
That's his name.
That's his whole name?
December Williams. That's his name.
Wow.
Hey, I thought his name was William something else.
Wow, I did not know that.
Billy D. Real name is William December Williams.
Wow.
Right on, brother.
How about a Colt 45?
Yeah, man.
I remember the commercials as a kid. I was like, man, when I get old enough, I'm gonna get me one of them.
Don't do it, man.
Don't do it. Have one and never have another. Don't do it.
Send that radiator water back to the cooler, man. Don't do it.
Have one and we'll never have another one.
No, man, don't do it.
Not a Colt 45.
No, man.
Hey, you waking up like, who are you? How you get it?
No, don't do it, man.
Don't do a Colt 45.
Splitting headache, man. Don't do it,
man.
Oh,
rotten good. No, thank you.
Yeah, don't do it, man. I'm okay. Yeah.
Man, hey, that's another fun fact, A-Trap. I just looked it up. Yep, his name is William December Williams Jr.
Junior.
You got two first names.
Right,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly. Hey, man, Williams is a great last name.
Last name, but it's two first name William.
No, William is the first name.
The last should be first, and the first should be last.
Either way,
because he wouldn't have made it with William Williams, so he had to come up with something.
That's like
Billy D, man.
Billy D. Yeah, he had to come up with something.
Shout out to Big Illinois. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Wow.
That Billy D got a special place. 2005. He'll know what I'm talking about. January 1st, 2005.
Hey, Golden says yes. She got hearts and laughter on that one. Yeah. Definitely. Man, so I was wondering throughout the film, obviously you got a lot of horse riding, a lot of kind of gun shooting and everything. But I'm sure they probably used some type of sound. I don't know if y'all ever seen this, but there was a guy that works on films, and to do these sounds is not actually horses, and it's not.
Yeah, it's got a name. I can't think of the name of what they call them.
Yeah, it's like sounds that are similar to that kind of brings that sound out.
Which they still use them today. They still have people making those sounds, and some of them are digitally edited. But it's got a name. I can't remember the name of it, but yeah, I'm pretty sure there was a lot of that.
Yeah.
No, probably not back then.
Not back then. It probably was.
Come on, man. We talking about 52 years ago. You had to get on that.
Might have been a real sound. I don't know H-Rap. That gun sound, I done heard that in Cheyenne a lot. That pew, I done heard that a lot of times. So
I mean, come on, man. But then years later, but here's the other thing. But why not? I mean, years later, you got Star Wars in '77. Who knows what a spaceship sounds like? Like, stop it. What? You just making shit up?
I don't think nobody shooting no guns, but horse sounds. They riding the horse.
I think that one of the other funniest part is them falling over because it was like, man, that was the most dramatic.
You
I
got
mean, it was like,
you have to sell it, man.
yeah, man, they were overselling it. That's called overselling it.
That stopping power make you do that, man.
You gotta sell it with the freeze, though.
Right?
You gotta freeze up.
Yeah,
you gotta sell it, man.
Yeah, it's
I'm
like timber.
What is the aiming? Like we just shooting and just luckily somebody can hit. Like, okay, you shoot 2, I shoot 3. All right, let's go.
Right.
Yeah, man.
And then when he was like, I'm out. He was like, I'm out, and he threw him the gun, and then when he lifted his hands up, that's when he got shot. I mean, all those other times.
All the other times you got missed.
Yeah. That's what made the 18 great, because the 18 they be shooting. I'm like, they ain't hit nobody. I'm like, all these bullets flying around the 18. Y'all done shot me. Y'all supposed to be ex-military. Y'all done shot nobody.
Man, that's crazy. Yeah.
The fact that they didn't get shot to the end is a miracle.
Yeah.
You all can't be bad shooters, man. Somebody,
right? Come on, man. Somebody gotta get hit. Man.
Everybody was bad shooter in that movie. Everybody, the bad guys and the good guys. Like, Indian walk in and just wow, look everybody out. Oh, okay, they been practice.
Yeah, and as the preacher said, where you get them cannons from, man? Them cannons hit everyone at that table, man. Come on, man.
Yeah. So that is a small out shotgun.
Yeah, I was still surprised how I felt like that character was the way they drove that character up. The Shay, I think that was his name.
Yeah,
I felt like he was gonna go into the end of like there was gonna be a big thing at the end.
That's what I thought too.
I couldn't believe how soon they had killed the half of the squad right there.
And he kind of looked like he could have passed. I don't know. Did any of y'all feel that?
Oh, talking about he kind of
the shade
of the darker skin.
Yeah, like he looked like a light skinned brother. That's what he looked like.
Well, what they
I didn't catch that.
What they did, what I appreciated was they showed the kinship and the cantankerous and the kinship relationship between natives and the formerly enslaved. Because you have to understand that we were here with them initially, even before 1492 or 8, whatever it is, 1492 when they got here. So it showed, and it also shows you the reason that they were kind of disappointed in us because hey, y'all were here with us, and then y'all start fighting with them.
Right.
And then but they didn't though. What they failed to show, and I would blame Sydney, and maybe it's on the cutting room floor. Hey, y'all was helping them catch us too, so we need you to relax.
Yeah.
Right. It was playing both sides.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I think it really kind of came down to, I mean, they needed supplies, they needed money. So it was kind of like to the highest bidder, because I'm sure we weren't the only ones that were trying to pass through. And if you try to pass through, you got to pay the tax, you got to pay the fee. So,
absolutely. Like I said, they have built that level of I have to be cautious because I can't trust and be open with everybody.
Right. I don't trust nobody.
But I have to be real tight.
And she was like, Buck, we know you, Buck, but you're still not getting more than this. Okay.
Right.
You our boy. We let you come through.
Yeah.
Right. You're still not no more than this.
You still get one buffalo.
And get out my face.
Right. Get out my face.
He walked off like, I'm done talking about it. Let's go.
Right.
Okay. I'm done. Okay.
On range on that 10 now. All right. Yeah, man. Yeah. Chill out, man.
Yeah. Now Ruby Dee, her role was kind of more towards the end, but the powerful scene that she had when they were basically sitting in the room and they came back.
Hey man, let me tell you something.
Eating beans and cornbread.
If Ruby Dee says you want to have your kid, ain't nothing else to talk about. Ain't nothing else to talk about. We don't need to discuss nothing else. Ruby Dee, I want to have your kid. Oh, she kept okay. Ooh, okay.
And she crying too.
Right.
Yeah. I gotta go back. She was like, I'm gonna find out about the horses. This conversation over with.
Okay.
Sorry.
That was that moment when your wife just walk off and you like,
yeah,
she get back.
Whoops.
When she get back, it's gonna be a conversation.
Yes, it's gonna be a conversation.
Come over here and sit down. We need to talk for a minute. Yeah. But her role was great. I mean, great actor. Been doing it for a long time, so she had a good role, and she was riding off with him.
She was
but
on
that,
it.
you know, when she came in, it was like, man, y'all come out and get something to eat. And
yeah. Once again, food.
Yeah.
Everything we talk about.
Right.
Food and water.
Yes. Yep.
That's
all you get.
The center point it's got to be in every film. You got to eat. And who knows how long, like Jeff, who knows how long it has since they've eaten? Because I mean, they out shooting and riding. Like it ain't they're not trying to get a sandwich. Ain't no Subway out there like that. You know?
No, man.
He said, how far are they ahead of me? He was like a day's ride and two sunsets or something.
They act like that was nothing.
I was like, how long is that? Like, how do we calculate?
Day's ride on a horse? What?
Right. And there was a couple times the horses just fell over.
They won.
Yeah.
They got it.
The horse need nourishment too. So I'm like,
they need water, food, and
gotta find a creek.
And then when she said that, she was like, and they still not helping you.
Yeah.
So it's on you.
Yeah.
So good luck.
Yikes.
Good luck. But yeah, I felt like that scene was powerful. She was saying, you know, I want to go somewhere where I can be free, where we can live together.
I'm tired of this land that's saturated with blood. I'm done with that.
And I wonder how many of us went to Canada, because she mentioned it a couple times.
Yeah,
a bunch.
You know,
I'm sure quite a bit. Yeah, I was gonna say after probably with the Underground Railroad, you know, probably leading into, I'm pretty sure quite a bit, significant number of Black Canadians.
And then you have to realize, okay, Theodore Roosevelt, the left part of the country, the left side of Mississippi River wasn't even part of the United States of America for a very long time. So all you really had to do is get across the Mississippi River.
Yeah. North of the Mississippi.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, and they kept it pretty, you know, as accurate. They said the Idaho territory. They wasn't saying like, yeah, we could go up here to Nebraska. They kept it pretty, you know, accurate to what was going on during the times, which I definitely applaud Sydney on 48 on that. Because
I think the other thing we get, I say we, but I think another thing that's not talked about when we think about these Wild Wild West movies, we think about so far west. We talking like Utah and Montana and
I ain't none of that.
Nevada. When you had, I mean, West could just be of the 13 colonies. So it's just like
west of where you at.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, it's not Nevada, it's not New Mexico, and at those times, Mexico territories and things like that. So, I mean, look at parts of New Hampshire, New Jersey, and the mountains, and Appalachian Mountains, and those
they still underdeveloped.
They still underdeveloped. Yeah, what I'm saying. I mean,
yeah,
it's just those lands that are there.
Yeah. So they come up with a plan. They arrive at the post office. So they get to the post office and they skirmishing around and there's nothing there.
Yeah.
The guy's like, no, you got to go to the bank. So, talk about that, Jeff. You know, they trying to come up with the money, trying to figure out how they can get the money.
Man.
And plan A didn't work out.
Plan A didn't work. They would have plan B.
Yeah. Shit's free.
Yeah. I mean, they had to get the money, so we had to rob something. I'm leaving here with something. What did they say? I'm from Runaway. I'm leaving here with something. Right. He had to go.
Right.
They had to pivot and go rob that bank. He made all them people get in their closet and just left. Like, nobody screamed or nothing. Like, out of here.
And then they just got on the horses and they just like casually was like walking away.
Like, no, there was no alarm.
Yeah.
But
it's gonna be obvious though.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of us there.
That's what I'm saying. You got two black dudes casually riding away on a horse in these times. Like,
and then the guy becomes free. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. You draw attention to yourself. If you, a lady, and a dude just speed away, what the niggas doing? You know?
Right. What they up to?
Yeah. As soon as he came, he was like, "What you want, boy?" And then he had to show him that gun. He was like, "Oh,
yeah.
Sir.
What's that? I'm sorry, put that boy back in your pocket." Yeah.
Excuse me, sir. It's across the street, sir. Yeah.
And of course, the preacher was like, "Man, it's gold, man. You can't put no gold on the horse, man." I want cash money.
Straight cash.
Yeah. Yeah. You heard the OJs, man. Cash money, man. Where's money at, man? Play with me.
Hey, man, kind of rewinding back. Preacher was always, man, that dude had a look in his eye always, man. Like he was always looking for the come up.
Yeah,
like always, man.
He didn't look trustworthy at no point.
I think that was the point.
He always looked like he had something else going on. Like he had a
I think that was
look. Like I don't trust you, bro, at all.
I think that was the point. I think they gave him that con man demon aspect because even when his eyes would get big and having those dirty teeth like that, and I think that was a play on, just trying to manipulate people. And it's like, oh,
trying to calm
you
people.
don't. Yeah, I think they played on that look, which worked. It was perfect. The beard and the hair. I mean, it was. Yeah, it was.
When he was peeking through the window at the lady, it was like, oh, whoa, she got a lot of money there.
Yeah.
and Buck was around the corner though, like every time. Like, man, I know you shiesty. I know you got that trick bobble, man. Where do you get that trick bobble from, man? Like,
he's a con man. He's that snake oil salesman, man.
Grifter.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
So when he kind of told him towards the end, he obviously wasn't really a preacher. So what I kind of missed that part. How did he become? He ended up the Bible was the only thing his like parents gave him or something like that.
Well, he was saying because supposedly I don't know if his dad or stepdad or somebody his mom was dating or seeing. He would like the elder would take it to his mom sometimes and knock her around, but he would get so drunk and he was like, hey boy, help me to bed. And that's when he told him he walked him through somewhere. And of course, it sounds like he may have killed him, is what it sounds like. Or the way he put it is like I had to put him down because he was just out of control. And then he got the Bible because that person was a preacher, but he cut the things out of the Bible and had the gun in there.
Put the gun in there.
He was telling that story. So yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, we have to realize what time it was.
Right.
You are literally in a period in which you are freshly unenslaved,
right?
Freshly emancipated. You got half the country that still wants to kill you, and then you got on the other half, you have people who have been wronged and they're indigenous. You got your people in your communities that's beholden to the people who want to enslave you, and then you got people who are in the middle who really don't care, but they ain't doing anything to stop it. So it has to be a treacherous situation to live in that world. So you have to find your niche so you can survive.
Yeah. I mean, and honestly, when you see a pastor coming, it kind of gives you hope because he's a motivator, the encourager,
and that's what they thought. Well, to your point, that's what they thought in that one when he stumbled upon that one place where that young boy was.
Yeah,
that's what he felt like. But then, of course, it was like, man, I may have brought treachery and death upon these people. But yeah, because like he said, I'm gonna pray for you. He saw that woman and he's like, oh, I'm gonna pray for y'all and I'm gonna say a prayer. Y'all bless me with some of that good food you're cooking over there, and wash my clothes or something like that. Absolutely.
Yeah. But then look at what he said. He gave him the $1,800. And he said, I'm gonna go buy the biggest tent I can find. I'm going to Illinois. I'm gonna get the biggest tent I can find. I'm going to swindle the whole state.
Right.
Hey, he ran away with that money in his hand, like, I got it. He didn't put it in his pocket or nothing. He was like,
click the meal together.
I let you know I got it. Yeah.
Right.
What you have to think about it. Think about this. How much money was that in that time? Think about this.
Yeah.
Abraham offered the enslaved 40 acres of mule and $100. He had $1,800.
$1,800.
Right.
He could have did a lot with that.
$1,800.
He could have did a lot with that.
That man might have been walking around there with $250,000 at that time.
Right.
Yeah. Really.
Yeah. To him. Really. Yeah. Absolutely. I can see that.
Yeah, and before they kind of started migrating, they had a white man that was paying them to basically till and manage the land, and they were like, "Man, it's more money. We got more money here." But obviously, they had to keep going. So I mean,
nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
We fell for that trick already.
And now I'm good.
Yeah. So they end up getting away, and obviously the Posse ends up coming up after them, and now they in the mountains. That whole scene right there. I mean, obviously it was like 10 minutes left, so I'm like, all right, the Native Americans probably gonna come to their rescue. It's the only way they're gonna win this. They both got shot. They both limping around.
Right.
And they, you can only hide behind them rocks so many times because it's like 15 of y'all, like 15 of them and 3 of y'all.
Yeah. With the rock is so big, man.
Right. You only got so many bullets. So I mean, to me that was pretty. I'm not gonna say predictable. I guess I'll say predictable because you knew something was gonna happen in order for them to get saved. And the Native American, the guys on the horses were kind of up on the hill looking at them. So I'm like, you could come help.
Just like
he was just like, yeah, I guess he was like sitting back and watching for a minute. I'm like, you just go watch them get killed or you can help. And that I don't think that was the leaders either. So maybe it was like, hey, we gotta come help you out real quick, and then we could,
remember that's the scout. That was the scout that was gonna get them through to the other side of the
right. They had the horses that were gonna give them.
I mean, but like you said, man, it is survival. It's the fitness at that point. They had watched, we're gonna walk you to safety, and then y'all come up behind us. Even the chief said, we ain't got time to be giving y'all our bullets.
Right.
Because at some point, we gonna ride down on these people. We taking our joints back.
Right.
So we help y'all, but
only so much because again, we're not in the clear. Like they still want this land. It's not like
absolutely. They're not done with us.
Yeah.
And then what I really appreciated was the fact that it showed you the treachery of the people of that time. You were part of the posse and you actually killed the sheriff.
Right.
I mean, look at the beginning of the movie. I mean, I felt like, man, this is like Tulsa, Oklahoma all over again. I mean, you don't like what we got.
Burning it up.
You over here burning stuff and toppling stuff. Like, come on, man, what you doing, man?
Yeah. They wasn't giving any. They wasn't coming in and asking questions. It was just
and then they went into then they went into the one spot, stole it, and killed the kids too.
Yeah.
Oh man, what you doing?
Like merciless, like
stealing them.
Man, you got to be a different type of evil to kill a kid, man. Like they're defenseless. They can't.
Right.
When my wife was like, "Man, evil is evil," but I'm like, "Man, a kid."
But it's got to be a different level. I guarantee.
It's a different type of hate that you got, man.
You on a different level of hate, man. You got top tier hate or something. I don't know.
Come on, man. It's amazing that y'all shocked that these people would kill kids.
I'm saying anybody in general.
No, it's not that I'm shocked. It's just that because if somebody kill their kids, they ready to scour the earth.
Yeah. That's where I'm at with it. Like they ready to turn.
They ready to flip the earth on their axis. Like what?
You just working these kids like nothing.
Right, and not even if in today's term, not even if they get killed, if they get in trouble, they willing to turn everything over just to get that kid out of jail.
That's what I'm saying. So so it's all and that's why I said there's got to be it's got to be a different level because if black people lash back and we come steal your kids and kill them like that, you finna send the whole army. You're finna send the whole cavalry out, bro.
They calling everybody up.
They calling everybody.
Army, Navy.
They calling everybody up.
What you think gonna happen over here? Like, stop, man.
They gonna pick up that one phone and call all military.
Man, come on, man. They ready to exercise the full extent of the law. They say, man, come on.
I mean, but this is the issue of the Second Amendment. Y'all know that, right?
Yeah.
The Second Amendment was created so if the blacks and the Indians rose up, you and your y'all could
absolutely. I'm very aware of that. Yep. That's why I have an AR-15 downstairs right now. Yeah, exactly.
If you want.
You
got problems.
You got problems. Come see me.
I got you covered. If you want.
Rodney D. Young, I got you covered. Don't worry. I got you covered. Don't worry. I got you covered.
All right, let's get to some final thoughts and our mic rating, and then kind of the end. I felt like the end was a beautiful moment. They get to that grassy area. Immediately in my head, I thought, like, how long are you gonna be there though before somebody come and say?
Of course, you already know it.
So I mean, it's beautiful for a minute,
right?
But how long is it? How long are you really gonna have that?
Somebody is coming to disturb my peace.
Yeah, and before I get to final thoughts, A-Trap, they had the guy in the that traveled with them that was kind of like I guess a soothsayer, or what would you give me your thoughts on that? I wanted to ask you about that.
I think that was traditional. That was a traditional, you got to realize that these people are not, they're not so far separated from who they are, like we are. Right. Some of these people are one generation off the boat. So, you keep your traditions, you keep your ways and your traditions and your lifestyle. So this is not far-fetched. This is part of, again, when you look at these films and they're created by the right people, as Sidney Poitier, what's the one man name? Harry Belafonte and things of that nature. They are giving you a peek into your history. It is an inflection point, so it in hopes to encourage you to look into those things. Understand, like I mentioned on my programming a lot, how you assume that they just went over to Africa, casted a wide net, and picked us all up like fish, and then drug us over here. No, what they did was they killed the doctors, they killed the military people, and then they captured the architects. They captured the agricultural people, and they captured the people who were workers. So that's what mean you come over here. But some of those traditions were brought over here with us. Like when y'all saw my reels the other day, that I showed how some of the women was even putting food and medicine in their braids. Braids were used to carry food and meds. So this is why I was saying when we were having a conversation earlier in the show, these things need to be made because there's so many underlying stories. We need to start asking the why behind the why. Why they do this? But what's the why behind the why?
Right.
And that's why I want more of those movies made. So you can't ask the why behind the why. So many traumatic things that are inculcated into our system that we don't even understand. And if you find out why, like me, I'm claustrophobic as all get out. Maybe, just maybe, I was part of the last group of people that was over here, and that was passed down time immemorial. So that's why I want these things made. But so it was normal. In short, no.
Yeah, and I mean, you gotta have an elder. You gotta have somebody that's got the wisdom, that's lived the longest. Same thing with the the mother of the church. She's normally the oldest female. She's the one that you come to, the one you look out for. So.
And to add one more thing, this thing called Jolly and Domers. A Jolly is a person who loosely tells stories. Ben is from Oakland, Wilkes is from Texas. Jeff, you're from Illinois, right? Or Missouri, right? Yeah. No, I couldn't remember. I know it's in the same area, but that's what a Jolly does. A Domer has an oath. He takes an oath to keep accurate truths. Yeah. A Domer tells the accurate truth of everything. It's every single step. And that's what you saw, a Domer. You saw a person who's going to keep an accurate bullet point. And then the Domer takes such a stringent oath that the legend goes, it's this African Domer who was, he protected this woman that the white enslavers were attempting to capture. And he protected her, and they ran up on her. They ran up on him, and he lied. They said, "You know what she is?" And he lied and said, "No." His oath is so stringent that he had to step down as a Domer because he lied. So that's how accurate his truths, his stories has to be. So that's what you saw a peek of. And again, this is why those stories need to be told, because you have that information transfer, so you'll know the importance of family and tribe, clans, culture, so forth and so on.
Yeah. All right. Final thoughts, Mike rating. We're gonna come to our guest first, Jeff.
Man, this was a good movie. I always like to see some of the slavery type movies, some of the stuff that was back then. My great grandmother was a slave, so I always like to see like some of the stuff that they went through. Not too much, but I like to kind of see what she used to talk about. You know what I mean? Right. Because not many people can say that. I give it a 5. I'm not a Western person, but this was a good one, a good starter for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I say, it If you don't blow something up in like the first 10 minutes, I'm out. So, this one held my attention the whole time.
So I don't see no train robbery in the next 5 minutes.
Okay, if you don't slap somebody or do something, blow something up.
So you a Fast and the Furious guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I like cars too. So I like cars. So Fast and the Furious. I do like movies like the Game of Thrones, Gladiator, stuff like that. I like that type of stuff. 300. I like them. Them my go-tos. But you know, like if you ain't blowing something up, somebody getting like you standing there and somebody head get lopped off out of a sudden.
Yeah. I
ain't in it. I don't.
If you ain't decapitating niggas, I don't want to see it.
So you stand there, somebody face get shot. I'd be like, "Whoa, what happened?
Yeah.
What did he do?"
That's a great opening.
Last week I told him I was gonna get. Like, wow. Like,
Hey, well, Game of Thrones is definitely perfect for you, man.
Bro.
You watching the latest one?
I'm sad that it takes 2 years between seasons. Like, I just found out today, like, season 2 is going to be another 2 years before season 3. Like, how can we speed up this production? Like, you get folks
you know people want this. Start making it.
Leave us
while we watching it. Start making it.
I got to go back and rewatch the first 2 seasons, figure out why we here. Like, what's happening? So, I mean, I caught on the Game of Thrones later, but I mean, those are the type of movies that I be into, like the plots, the deep twists, all of that. I like all that, you know. But you got to keep me. Somebody got to get cut up or something.
Somebody
got to get hurt. Somebody got to get hurt quick. Like shoot them.
Yeah. Somebody got to get impaled. Why is the head not on the stake?
Right. You dying the next season? Like on the next season. Your head is gonna be on the stake. I know it because you messed up. But this was a great movie. I enjoyed it. I really did. Like I said, me and Doc got the bond a little bit because she knows her daddy watches westerns like to this day. Like when he comes to visit Cheyenne all day. Like what time Cheyenne come on? And I don't really know them other than like the theme song like Cheyenne. I know he watching it, but he be in it. Like you. It reminds me of like my grandmother when she used to watch her soap operas. You don't fool with him. You don't fool with him while he watching Cheyenne. You leave him alone.
Don't talk to me. My story's on there. I know you.
Right. You know that's the time you don't call grandma when them stories are on.
And so Doc was able to like walk me through this whole thing. So it was cool. I enjoyed it. I really
another good one is The Harder They Fall.
It's on. We haven't seen it.
I think it's still on Netflix.
I think it's still on Netflix.
But it's got Idris Elba and Regina King.
But you know he's got a
I saw that one. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you see, like all the action in there, and I was like, I was hooked on that one. I watched that one twice. But I mean, anything further than that, I ain't seen.
Jeff watch a movie about history. You got to show him when Malcolm X got shot first.
There you go.
You need to go backwards.
Yeah. How we get here?
We got here. Okay. All right. I'm in. Like,
Greta Kev said, great exclamation. Why we should have more slave movies, not to glorify reality, but how we connect to our history. He said not to glorify the brutality. Some of it you do have to show to make it real. To make
especially for Jeff.
Man,
you got to catch a slave and kill him, and then
if I don't see that skin coming off the back, I ain't watching it. I ain't watching it.
All right, Wilkes.
I have to give it a 5. I enjoy Western movies. I enjoy seeing not just being portrayed because of bad guys on the trail, shoot them up, go rob a bank, but there was some history behind this one.
Mm-hmm.
There's some realization to this one. It's just the black people trying to pilgrimage and do their thing, but you still after me. I'm not even in your presence, and you still hate me.
I don't even care about you.
Yeah, I don't even care.
You got I don't know what that is.
Your mic messing up. Might be
some
feedback.
Yeah, that's you.
Oh Lord, hang on.
All right, we can't hear you. maybe you might disconnect something.
The look on his face though is priceless. He's like, dang.
He's about to go ballistic. Just skip the movies and watch Faces of Death.
So yeah, I watched that when I was a kid. So that might be why I messed up. I used to watch those. Yes.
All right, but we'll come back to you.
Hello. I still sound terrible.
We got you.
What's going, man? What's happening? I don't know. I was doing great. What happened? But yeah, just a real quick back to that real quick. But yeah, I appreciate it. I thought it was great. 5. I mean, watching westerns with my mom and seeing black people in these roles. Shout out to the representation of having actual Native Americans playing Native American roles, because we see so many times now that all of a sudden that's the thing. Like, oh, we're going to do an Asian movie, so we got to make sure we have all Asians, or we got to make sure we have real Germans doing German roles. You know, it's like, but they've been doing this. They've been doing it.
Yeah, man.
What's that?
Right.
I said AI, man. Yeah.
You can't have Becky playing the Native American. You can't. Can't do it, man.
Yeah, you can't have Mickey Rooney playing an Asian dude, and it's Mickey Rooney, man. Like, stop.
Right.
It's Mickey Rooney.
It's Mickey Rooney.
You can't. Yeah, you can't have a white guy playing Moses. It don't work, man.
Yeah, no.
It don't work, man.
You instantly lose authenticity.
Right. It does not work, man. And side note, man, we all around that TV watching the Ten Commandments. That's not Moses, damn it. Somebody else.
Moses.
that's
NRA president. He guns in Moses.
That's funny.
Mo said watch 1883. I don't know if you've seen that one.
But I'll check it out. All right.
Yeah, hey, it's a lot of people get shot in that, Jack. You gonna love that, Jack. Hey, they shot me.
Dang.
Right here. Into the TV. Shot me in the shoulder. All right, A-Trap.
I echo their sentiments. Great movie.
All right. I'm gonna be the odd man out, but I felt like it was good. It was obviously Sidney Poitier's high quality. It had the comedy, it had the action, it had the history. I started off as a 4, so I'm gonna bring it up to a 4.5. I think it was well done. I'm not gonna give it a 5, but I think it was well done, matching up to a lot of the films we've done that was a 5. So it's gonna end up being a 5 anyway, because we don't do 0.5% and all that stuff. So, but I mean, it lived up to it. And I mean, we've been talking about this for years, it seemed like. So it lived up to the hype for sure.
What's your favorite part about it?
My favorite part about it?
Just random.
When they first met, when Buck and the Preacher first met, that was just quality film, quality cinema. 2 great actors, introducing 2 great actors and them having dialogue. I think that was my favorite part. My second favorite part was that white lady getting slapped.
The what? The what?
I said the white lady getting slapped. That was my second favorite part. What about you? You can go around real quick.
I've seen this so many times. I don't have a favorite part. I mean, think about it, dog. I've literally been watching this movie for 48 years.
Wow. So you know this. Like I know coming to America. I know coming to America like the back of my hand. Right, I'm still to this day, man. Yeah, saying stuff to my daughter. She have no clue.
And me and my sisters, like, well, I'm gonna blow y'all away. Me and my sisters and my cousins, we used to because we would all hang out at my aunt's house, like my aunt Constance's house or my aunt August's house, and my South Side cousins, West Side cousins. We would all convene, and we would all be looking at the TV guy and be like, "Hey, it's coming on this week. We gotta mob up and watch it together." And then you get the Jiffy popcorn, and so yeah, I've seen this movie a million. I'm telling you, I didn't even watch it. I just
because you know it.
I had it on.
Yeah,
because it's on Prime for free.
Yeah, that's where I watched it on Prime.
Yeah. All right. Favorite part, Jeff?
I think for me, the the nail in the coffin was the Indian and the translator, and he was like, "I need 5 buffalo." He's like, "You getting 1?" Straight face, like he never like. I need
right.
I ain't giving you no guns. I'm not giving you nothing.
Right.
Figure it out on your own. Like that. I was like, Buddy is standing on business. He will not be swayed. Like I loved it. Like that part was great for me.
Yeah, and I felt like at that point too, I really thought he was about to shoot him right then, though, because the way he was standing on business, I thought it was over for Buck. But at least he walked around and he still talked to him, but he was like, that's it now. I ain't telling you again.
Right.
He was like, ask him again. I was like, Buck, you pushing it, man.
Right.
He must have had a better situation negotiating with him in the past. That's what I'm hoping.
They had to have previous history because there was no way. The way he was like, I need 5 buffalo and 10 guns. He was like, I'm giving you 1 and no guns. Get out of my face.
Right.
Then the one thing he turned and walked off, and the lady was like, he said no. I was like, well, Mike,
get out my face.
Wow. And we still not helping y'all.
Yeah.
Just for the record, okay, as we giving you what we said we're gonna give you.
Yeah.
All right. Favorite moment. Wilkes.
Probably the card scene, the poker scene, when they were at the brothel. It was that right there was just. It was coordinated well. It was a distraction. It was crazy. And, I mean, the shootout and even the deception, because it was like the preacher knew that somebody else was in there, but let me go down the hall and hide because he gonna reach for the gun and try to sneak me. So but then of course the sheriff and the other part like, y'all ain't heard them gunshots, man.
That was looking crazy, like
what's that?
Like, come on, man, y'all ain't hear them gunshots. But that was my favorite scene. I because I felt like at that point now it's starting to propel Buck and the preacher right there. I think it's starting to propel their relationship, even though it's like, hey, I wanted to undermine you, but damn it, I held in there and saw your cause. So yeah, I like that moment. I like that moment.
And it has some great funny moments in it. Huh?
What's that?
Anything with Ruby D in it.
Oh well, yeah. Ruby said she want to have your kids, man. Like, hey, Ozzie Davis wasn't in the movies just because he was in the movie. All right, let's stop playing.
Now, you ever notice every time they in the movie together, they hook up.
Hey. Obviously, that's mine.
Ruby got that Ruby.
Remember the man slept with Ruby's sister.
We got that week.
Ruby got that Ruby, man. They ain't playing.
Hey, another fun fact. Remember B Street? Since they made that debauchery of breakdancing in the Olympics this weekend.
My gosh.
That lady from Australia, bro.
All of them, man.
I feel like I would have stomped on her back if I'd have been there, man. I'd have stomped.
That lady from Australia, though. Oh, no, gosh. Ray Gun. Her name was Ray Gun.
Man.
But remember the movie B Street? Or if y'all ever seen the movie B Street.
Oh, yes.
Double K, the DJ, right?
Yes.
That's Ozzy and Ruby's son.
Really? I didn't know that. I didn't catch that. Seen it a million times, then still never put that together.
He said it made me think of the scene in Inglourious Bastards. Don't know why, but it did.
Yeah.
You talking about the bar, the car scene, maybe. That's a good movie too. Cool.
It really is. It's done.
All right. So next week we will be doing Simone Biles Rising. It is on Netflix. It's a 2-part. It's an hour each. It's a easy watch. It gives a kind of an inside depth of what happened the previous Olympics and why she made her choice and her continuing to grow into a woman. So definitely worth watching. We'll be doing that next week. What's coming up tomorrow on this dope cooking show?
This dope cooking show tomorrow, 5:30. We did some cooking on location, so I took taking the show with me as I did a catering today, and kind of worked through that in a commercial kitchen versus being in my kitchen. So just a couple of just tidbits of what cutting board to use, making sure you got gloves, what's RTE, things like that. I mean RTF. Yeah. So just a little bit of professional culinary stuff. But all in all, just trying to do two things at once. So we on location tomorrow.
Definitely. Make sure y'all tune in 5:30 Central right here on BSG Network. And I had my coworker ask me, man, I seen your guy was doing the wing stop, but I missed it. I mean, like people, she wanted to know what was in that sauce.
Hey, tell her tune in, watch and rewatch.
I told her, hey, like A-Trap say, it's a podcast. You don't miss it. It's available all the time.
Just go back and watch it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of folks was like, man, he was just like the wind. I know, that's why I'm Chef Jeff.
I'll tell you, man.
I know. I'm spot on when I did
you need to do that Chick-fil-A episode. People lose their mind.
Chick-fil-A?
Copycat.
Okay. All right.
End of the bench tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a piece out of this dope cooking show. I'm gonna show people how to make peanut butter and jelly sandwich. No,
hey man,
my buddy asked me to do a fried bologna sandwich. I was like, really, bro?
All right, fried bologna.
Pop that bubble. It's gonna be a club. I'm gonna cut it in half. You know.
I'm like, yeah, we can get a thick slice of bologna. We're gonna fry it. We're gonna put it on the brioche bun. Like,
simple as that. Like what?
Simple as that. Like we got an episode.
You're gonna have that bread knife, A-Trap, where you just cut it slowly.
Yeah.
Open it up.
Yeah.
Peanut butter and jelly.
And then I'm gonna look up, and then I'm gonna finish. I have a theme now with my programming. If you notice, I've been using as thumbnails. I've been using album covers, and I've been using songs as earmarks. And tomorrow, stress, and I'm gonna talk about the stress that is being injected into our community. And I'm gonna talk about Pavlov's dog, and how we're being triggered with they introduce stress, then they introduce the triggers to that stress, and we must at some point see around that and stay focused. Also, with that, I'm gonna talk about the effects that Vice President Harris made. That the effects that former President Barack Obama brought about, and what we should be being prepared for in the event that Vice President Harris is elected. We must use history as our guide. And I'm going to talk about how we must eliminate culture vultures from our community. DJ Vlad, I hate DJ Vlad. If he did tune in to the end of the bench media, I still wouldn't watch it. DJ Vlad, but we need to communicate. DJ Vlad, I hate you. I wish you could hit that. I hate you. DJ Vlad, you suck. I hate you. DJ Vlad, I hate you. This is not.
This for you, DJ Vlad.
You're right. This is right. This is for you, DJ Vlad. This is not the express opinions are not of BS3. They are of Brian H-Rap B Williams. If you need to catch up with me at H-Rap B on all platforms, check me out. But any platform you can ever think of, H-Rap B, I hate you, DJ Vlad. But we don't have to talk about that. I'm going to talk about the effect that DJ Vlad has on our community. I hate you, DJ Vlad. I hate you. I hope somebody beat you up right now, Vlad, and I hate you.
He said H-Rap could do a 6-hour show tomorrow.
Yeah, it might be. It might be a 6-hour show. I hate you, Vlad.
DJ Vlad episode.
Oh my God.
Reach out to Pastor Don, have him pray for me. I hate you, DJ Vlad. I hate you. I hate you.
Yeah.
David Duke, you got moved to second because I hate Vlad.
Oh, wow.
I hate David Duke.
Wow.
And I'm not kidding. I'm not exaggerating.
DJ Vlad is above David Duke.
I hate Vlad from Vlad TV. So I actually set aside 30 minutes to hate Vlad. That first stuff I told you about is the first 30 minutes. The last 30 minutes is going to be about how much I hate Vlad. And I'm not kidding. I hate Vlad from Vlad TV. I tweet to him all the time. I hate you.
Does he ever respond?
I hate you. Vlad,
Does he ever respond?
You probably see it if you do it all the time.
No, he going to respond.
Because I tweet Elon Musk all the time and be like, can you just give me a Tesla?
Yeah. Right.
And you know what? Hey, Jeff, I'm gonna tell you something, man. You heard my stance on making slave movies earlier. I asked Spike Lee once about that, and he ignored me. We were having a conversation here, and I tweeted to him for 380 straight days until he responded. He said, "There's other narratives to tell." I said, "Okay." I said, "See," and I responded. He said that 380 days ago.
Yeah, I be tweeting Elon Musk like, can you give me a Tesla? It don't matter which one. You pick me one. I'll take it.
If you don't
I'm
believe
hoping
me,
one day I wake up and there's a Tesla.
The last
out.
thing I tweeted was about DJ Vlad on Twitter.
Hey,
you can have that geometry project that
Yeah,
everybody is drawing that Cybertruck in class.
everybody has
with
drawn
that
the Cybertruck
weird
twice.
Angle, everybody has. So,
Everybody, that's your first drawing.
I was drawing that in church.
Do not call that a truck.
Church, man.
Only him. Like.
Only him.
You got a dude to ride a truck. Even if you're a woman, you can be a dude riding a truck. That is not a truck.
It's nothing you can do to that vehicle to make it look.
It's a RoboCop vehicle, man.
There's nothing you can do. You can put rims on it. You can put spokes on it. You can.
All I need to do is
everywhere.
a Gatling gun on the back of it. Pretty much put some oil slick.
Big Mo, I will never forgive Jerry Rice for that Popeyes commercial.
I think DJ
he should definitely be shot for that commercial. With that chicken in the helmet.
Jerry needs a couple of dollars.
Jerry.
No, man. I honestly believe Jerry thought that was gonna be okay to pose with a big giant biscuit and a helmet with a piece of chicken.
Why?
Rotating.
Ooh, why? You went to Mississippi Valley. You went to HBCU. Why did you think that was okay? Come on.
I'm telling you.
What's up, Big Greg?
They called it.
All right, man. We got to get out of here next week. Simone Biles Rising. Appreciate you, Jeff, for coming on.
Absolutely.
And we'll go ahead and get out of here. A-Trap, go ahead and close us out.
Y'all already know it's the beginning of the month. Everybody trying to money back up because rent and the light bill was due. And if I owe you something, I ain't got it. And if you need me to forgive DJ Vlad, because I hate him, get it from God.
You hate him, man.
Peace.
I hope.